Hello, it's Noir Nerd, and in this vlog, I thought I'd, similar to the vlog I did before, the deep dive into the web dev portfolio, I thought I'd do a deep dive into my game dev portfolio. So game dev is something I've sort of been doing a bit still this year, but something I've done now for about 4 or 5 years, I suppose. So I thought I'd just showcase some ideas I've had, some prototype all games I've made, and also some sort of finished games and also small games that I've done over the years. Just basically play through them, show them, talk a bit about each, and that will be the video. So without further ado, let's go on to the first one. The show is called Nano Maze. It's a game I built for Ludum Dare, and it's built with Unreal Engine. All blueprints, not C++ programmed or anything, but this is built over a period of 3 days, isn't it? This is a bit of the background story. It's basically a maze game, basically. WSAD, escape key to exit. Let's play. You can use the mouse to scroll around like that. I've got destruct time. So I've got a certain time until the jump a bit as well. I've got to avoid these enemies. The enemies are just in a set path. They didn't really have much time to develop a decent AI, but basically the objective of this game is to find the exit. It's just like a maze game, basically. Just over there, and I got killed. So I quite like the aesthetic of this game. It's quite interesting in that sense. I mean, a maze game is quite obvious. It's sort of like a 3D version of Pac-Man with robots, but I'm getting rubbish at this now. Just gonna run. But it's probably, I'm looking at converting this to mobile as well. I've already more or less done quite a lot of it, but I wanted to enhance it a bit because there's only 3 levels in this version. So the mobile part of it's an ongoing project. So there you go, just give it to the next level. The music is music made by myself and Matt Lynn as well. This level's quite cool. Look, there's lots of nice effects, like reflections. Yeah, that's that. It's quite one of my best looking games, probably most polished, I suppose, for what it is. Even though there's only 3 levels, it's quite nice polish. So I was happy with the Ludum Dare. I was happy to get this done for the Ludum Dare. It gave me an introduction to sort of like movement scripts as well for enemy movement, so that was good. So I think we'll move on to the next one now. This game, which another Ludum Dare jam game, so made over 3 days, called Nourish, Nosferatu, which is probably one I'm quite proud of actually, even though it's quite a short game, quite short, simple. So we have like this familiar. This is the title screen, about. So basically, what it's about is you are like a slave of a vampire called Nosferatu, and you have to choose who you want to choose as a victim for your master. Set in a sort of cyberpunk environment. You'll see anyway. But I'm pretty happy with this one. Like, it seems a bit more. I guess. Oh, I can't move. Why? I can't move. Okay, we go. Must be wrong version or something. Oh, there we go. I can move now. That's odd. Maybe that's a bug. So yeah, this is your master Nosferatu. This ugly looking fella. Made the models with Hughes 3D, and the environment is probably the best aspect of this. So you basically just explore this environment, interact with different people. It's the drunk guy. Some nice rain sort of thing. So walk around, There's a cop here. I'll talk to some of these in a bit, but you can just explore a bit. And talk to different individuals. So let's see what happens if I say I want to. You were arrested. That's one of the endings. So I was intimidating the cop, and then I got arrested. So there's multiple endings based on people you communicate with. This is some poor old guy. So the whole idea of this is sort of like an interactive fiction, I guess. It's a very short one. Someone's been killed. Controls for the actual chat's a bit clunky though. You have to like press return to display the mouse cursor like this, and then you can choose the options. So that's a bit clunky, unfortunately. Some homeless people you can talk to. But I mean, I do like the environment of it. There's a mutant guy here. So that was Nourish, Nosferatu, yeah. So sort of an interactive fiction in 3D. Pretty happy. The next one we're going to look at is Torn, which is another Ludum Dare game. Again, built with Unreal Engine, and it's basically a dating simulator set in hell. It's very unusual and strange. I've not played this for a while, but let's have a look. So yeah, it's just a very weird game. Full screen, I have to. Spooky soundtrack, and sort of weird graphics. To go here to choose. Oh, there yet. I'll look it off. Yeah, it's a bit buggy, isn't it? So it's a bit, because it's a 3-day game build. That's a bit silly. Like you have subject 0. You can sort of explore this environment, talk to these weird people. Subject 3. There's sort of a bug with this one where the sound just plays over itself over and over again. It never stops after the one, which is quite weird, which is very breaky. It's just a bit buggy, this one, but so basically you just talk to all these potential suitors. And this is like the sort of prototypal hipster. Ah! Talk to subject 2. Liberal turtleneck arse face. Let's just choose one. You get the idea. It's just weirdness. Let's choose the random liberal arse face. Okay, something I might return back to, but it's basically I had this idea about developing a mind mapping game. So basically, the idea of this one is that it was Unreal Engine again. The idea of it is you walk around this 3D environment and then you can create nodes. So I guess the idea is that it's like an immersive environment, and whenever you have an idea, you can put a node down. It's quite underdeveloped though, but this is one I might revisit because I think it's quite a clever idea in some ways, but it needs a lot of enhancements. So every time I have an idea, you just shoot one of these idea things, and you could go and edit these nodes. And I'm stuck, I think now. Oh dear. There we go. Get off here. Ah. Anyway, I'm gonna edit this. And then you could add text. That was the idea of it anyway. And then you could go up to each one and just sort of edit it each time. Yeah, I think I hadn't got the interface fully working and all that, but it was something. This is one I'd really like to maybe enhance because it's sort of interesting, I think. Just how it's an interesting idea anyway, the idea of having nodes that you represent thought or ideas or brainstorming. I also made a zero gravity area. I'll just visit that as well, just quickly show that. As you can see, these little balls are everywhere. You can get a map up, see a top-down view. The aesthetically it's quite pleasing. I just want to make it quite unusual. Go to the 0G. There's an area. Maybe you can go back to MindHub here. Yeah, you can go back to the MindHub there. So you can just travel between these different areas. I was making a file one, but it wasn't made yet. This is like a 0G area. It's got mobile controls in there for some reason at the minute. I can just float around here. But I think at the minute you just float until you go to the top. There's no way of going down, so I'd have to add physics for that, I guess. But yeah, quite happy with the idea of it. The implementation is something different, but there's a bit of a moon now. Look. It's quite an interesting idea, but it needs a lot of working on to actually make it into something functional, I guess. What's that? I was like, we went through several different ways. Mind Map, MindHub, but it's something I'd probably like to return to in the future. For the Unreal Engine projects, there's this Cosmic Winds, which is a big idea project I had a few years ago. Basically, same as everyone's done. I was like, I want to build a space sim in Unreal Engine, and I got some parts of it working, as you'll see. But I mean, I've got a space environment. You can fly around it. You can land on a planet, which is quite cool. But beyond, and even this represents hours and hours of work. But beyond that, it doesn't. There's no other. It doesn't function in any other way apart from that, really. Okay, I'm just waiting for this to load now. I was loading 2 now by accident. There we go. So this is. You got a spaceship. You control it. There's asteroids you have to avoid. It's quite cool and like as a little demo, but it's quite weird as well because like sometimes the sky goes blue and stuff. So I mean, if you like knock into an asteroid, you get blown up and it restarts. There's the sun. The spaceship looks a bit odd though. The textures are all wrapped weirdly or something. But I think you can land on one of these planets. Let me just find out. Maybe this one, I can't remember. There's some asteroids orbiting this planet. It's Saturn, I guess. No, not this one. Not this one, okay. Oh! Frame rate's dying for some reason. Whoa! I think it's this one of these we can land on. Maybe not. It's probably an earlier version of it. But yeah, basically just my attempt at building some sort of space simulator in Unreal Engine. Don't know what's causing this glitch. So that's somewhat developed, but never finished. Let's just see what happens if it collides with an asteroid. It should blow up, if I remember correctly. If it's right. Maybe it's wrong. I don't know. This might be an older version of it. No, I just do that. Yeah, this is an old version of the. There's a new up-to-date version, which is this.